Very good evening, everyone. My name is Gulshan Memoria. I'm the CEO and the founder of Inspiredvalley. Today, we have connected to discuss on the topic of how to make school a happier place. And before going into the discussion, let me introduce the panel to you. The very first speaker that we have is Miss Supriya Sharma. She is the principal of SETH MR JAIPURIA School, which is in Gonda, UP. Next
Good
speaker we
evening.
have is Miss Sapna Sukul. She is the founder of Edustart Solutions. Next we have is Mr. SP Anand. He is the headmaster of Birla School Pilani. Next we have is Mr. Anand Kumar. He is
Hello.
the principal at NPS International School Guwahati, Assam. Next we have Miss Tripti Sharma. She is the headmistress of Manav Rachna International School, Mayfield Gardens, Gurugram. Next we have Mr. Paresh Yadav. He is the co-founder and director of Sarbotech Education Private Limited. And lastly, we have Mr. Vikas Nagru, co-founder and director of Brain Infinity. I welcome you everyone on this webinar. So we have started this initiative for the sole purpose of connecting with the best minds in the academic world and brainstorm on some of the key topics that it will add value and help educational world fraternity to enrich themselves by listening to the new ideas and through various suggestions. So let me start with the very first question with Supriya ma'am. Supriya ma'am, can you hear me? You need to unmute
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes, yes.
So ma'am, your question is what strategies have you found to be very effective in preventing bullying and promoting the positive social interactions among students, especially in your school?
Um, in today's environment, bullying is very much present there, and we can't deny that because see when we interact with students continuously and we happen to talk to and listen to their experiences, it is obvious that one or the other is bullied today or tomorrow, day before. So we have to accept that it is present, and we have to work for it. Like some of the strategies we have been applying in our school are like when we go to the classes, we encourage our teachers also, and I myself also we do. Like we talk about bullying, that what is bullying, because sometimes students are not aware that what is bullying, and if somebody is bullying them, that they are not aware of it. They think just they are weak enough that everybody scold them or torture them like that. And we have to understand the differences between boys and girls bullying. Like boys
So there
bully
are
different,
different, I'm
and
sure.
girls bully differently. Girls are more girls work more on mental work, like they
Sapna ma'am, I would like to
use
come to you.
sarcasm.
I mean, for this point, because I'm sure that you have already worked with so many schools. I mean, on daily basis, that I have seen a lot of posts that recently you have been to Doon School in Dehradun also. So on daily basis, that you interact with a lot of school principals, directors, and especially with the students. So what's your approach on this? I mean, what's your point on this? You need to unmute yourself before. Yeah.
So bullying is part of your growing up. So you can't say that it will never happen, or the students will restrict what they have to say. They will be saying what we can do. What I have seen, that what school principals and parents should, and along with students, it should be regulated, like what can be said and what should not be said, because these things, if we teach the students from the very beginning that this is what is this can be accepted and this will not be accepted. So maybe this is something which you can't do away with it. So if a child, supposing a teenager is there, and there is a student of 7th or 6th standard, and supposing he says that go get a glass of water or something like this, so which is, we can term as a bullying thing, or we can term as a, he just wants a little bit respect, that he's a head boy. So what is right and what is wrong is for the schools, and they have to have a guideline which is drawn, that they have made a guideline for what can be, what is expected, what is not expected out of this. Like I feel this is very important, because otherwise, no,
So
people
you're
will
talking
not.
about some set of rules. I mean, before, I mean,
Yeah, they
with
have
every
to
structure.
guideline rules. They'll not even they'll they'll not know what they can speak to, how they can speak to the youngsters, or why they should not be speaking this if it does not have to be. So when you're making a guideline, there should be a reason also given to it, that this is not expected or accepted because, or this can be done because. So
So
do's
setting
and
a
don'ts
rules is one part, and
were
giving
very
the reason is
important.
another part.
Yeah, so very, very important. So I feel that way, that
Thank you so much. Yeah.
because you can't say that yeah, there are extreme bullying cases which are just which should not be accepted, only which is just, it's not part of the system, so people will not even think about it. But what can be accepted in that particular, like if it is a boarding school, the bullying rules are different. What can be accepted in a day boarding school, it's different. In a day school,
Sure,
it's a different
I'm
rule.
sure. Yes.
In a school which 3,000 students, is a different philosophy, different rule given. But so a school with 800 children will have a different practices. A school with in a major city, metro city, will be different. A small city will have a different. So everywhere we can't have the same yardstick measure for every school. So it depends from the, and when you're making a policy, all stakeholders should be included, be it
Involved.
parents, be it
Exactly.
students, be it even the दीदीज एंड भैयाज who are working should be included in क्या चल सकता है, क्या नहीं चल सकता है आपके हिसाब से. So I think that
That's a
will be
very
a
good
robust way
suggestion,
of
ma'am.
taking a bullying.
Anand sir, I would like to come to you. I'm sure, like,
And the transporters, because the transporters also who carry the children. So the drivers also should be included, because I've seen that उनको पता ही नहीं होता कि क्या allowed है क्या नहीं allowed है.
so in the school buses also, these things will take place. So we need to. Anand sir, what's your experience in this aspect? I mean, being the principal of one of the biggest residential school in Guwahati, so I'm sure that you have a different experience about this. So can you please share your views on this topic?
Yeah, yeah. First of all, thank you to all, and wish you all a happy Sivaratri. Right, sitting in the eastern part of the country and northeast is always a kind of blessings by the God. Okay, two of my panelists has rightly said about a different thing and with the experiences. Look, we cannot stop bullying. That's very true, but how we are going to tackle it in a two different way? We do. Our strategy should be one, it should be a kind of preventive measure and then corrective measure. I believe collective measures should be introduced in the school first, and to create a culture where each one people is going to check each other or taking care of each other, rather than coming to a kind of solution and taking the steps to control. Why not we are having that kind of culture? So the most important thrust of my area or my thought process is moving toward the corrective measures. And for the taking a corrective measures, you decide what is the problem of my institution, where I have to go for the training. I mean, one of the panelists has rightly said, for that, each member of the institution need to be trained. What is POXO? What is do's and don'ts to control the bullying? And these all should be taken care in a one cell, right? So this is your first corrective measure. Then preventive measure, it should be very much clear, not only among the children, to the parent, that okay, look, these are the school policy which we cannot compromise on that. And to call them and to engage them, I'm talking about the parent and the children. We need to, school need to take one calendar, that parental engagement calendar. You design your calendar, call them on weekend, call them on second Saturday or fourth Saturday or wherever you have a time. So these are the things which need to be taken care. Apart from that, I feel most importantly, the school should take care of socio-emotional ethical learning. Our children actually don't know. They are using so many different kind of thing, but they don't know what is the blunder in that. And sometime in my stage or in our generation, we were aware society was having a major thrust on our mindset, but now there is no social structure. So who will inform them? Mother and father, they are not having time, or even they have a time then, but they are going to take a preventive measure. They are not talking about corrective measure. So then we need to have a focus on that particular area. School need to have a curriculum. School
For
need to
this.
integrate as a part of system, like math, physics, chemistry. You need to teach, you need to not only teach the children but to teachers how to handle the situation. Sometimes I feel teachers exaggerate the things rather than understanding and going in the core. They take superficial action. Okay, fine, this thing has been done, let's take the action, let's take the, then
They
it
do
will
not
not
go
help.
into the detailed thing why this thing actually happened. This
Yeah.
thing
So
actually took place.
these are some 4 5 ideas I can share with this all panelists,
Thank you
and
so
maybe it
much.
can be
Thank you
helpful.
so much, Anand sir, for these wonderful suggestions. Paresh, can we have your views on this topic? I'm sure that
Yeah,
you can share
yes.
your views, especially I mean, in coming to the mind training aspect. I'm sure that you can add a lot of value to this point.
Yeah, I would like to add a couple of points. Maybe there are a lot of eminent people here on this call at this point of time, who are experts in this entire education system. My point of view in this case is it's very important for us to get into the background of that particular student, who is probably bullying across. Now, bullying comes in from certain rage that is there within, and that rage could be because of certain background that is there across. Maybe the parents are very dominating, or multiple such aspects could be impacting the child's mindset. And if the child's mindset gets impacted, there is somewhere the child needs to vent out. So it is very critical and very important for the education system to get into that base. Why is it that the child is bullying across? Right? It is easy to punish, and it is easy to try and push the child to not to do it. But understanding the background and counseling the child should really help. Somewhere the mental wellness of the child, or the mental, there could be certain challenges. There are certain troubles, mental challenges that the child might have across. In terms of the child is sad, the child is not getting listened to, and that's the reason why the child is trying to create presence across. And so it is very important that this entire thing needs to be looked at, the background of the
The
child.
reason and the background should be thoroughly checked out. Why that
Thoroughly
person has
checked
done
out.
it.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
maybe talking to parents and all, and trying and identifying, is there any challenges, or the child would have faced across in the early phase.
That's perfect.
Mr. Gulson, I would like to just add one
Please,
point
please, sir.
here.
Please, sir.
Yeah. We were having a recent visit to one of the western part, Singapore basically.
Okay.
And then I realized one of the basic thing, the distractions in terms of destructive education system, they promote that kind of culture, and even then they maintain the discipline. So what are the things they do? I was very much curious about it. There was no structure like classroom structure. Children were running, children were moving, playing, but there was not a single case I find a kind of destruction in terms of anti-bullying or something like that. Maybe it has not been observed by me. So what they do, they measure the child on the basis of their psychometric analysis. When they enter, the child entered in the classroom on every periodical period, they are going to assess the child in terms of their mental and emotional well-being, which is not there in our, most of the institutions. We didn't taken care of all this kind of aspect. So this is the one area where the child need to be, sir has rightly said that we need to understand why the child is doing such kind of
Exactly.
problem. So when you go for granular down, and you see that these are the area where the child is struggling, maybe in terms of a family issue, maybe in terms of even in the past there was some bullying case. So the psychometric analysis, the multiple intelligence, these all kind of structured analysis of the child, entire school, they measure, they keep thrust on that, and then they identify, and then they take a kind of corrective measure, rather anything happen to the child or anyone. That's one of the thing
That's
which
a
I
very
think
good
we should
suggestion.
go
That's
for
very
it.
good, great insight.
But-
Paresh, you
but-
wanted to add something? You have raised
Yes,
your
I
hand.
just wanted to add. I wanted to cite an example basically.
Please.
There was one set of parents who had come and who had registered for our programs, and we went ahead and did the entire, BCI, the brain computer interface technology based analytics of this entire child. And the child was very hyperactive, and the child used to become the amount of energy that was in the child was too high. And the parents were not able to control it. It was impacting the child's behavioral pattern. It was impacting the child's academic performance to a great extent. And then after the entire program and all, what we found is the calmness level of the child was hugely impacted from our test that we do across. The calmness level was very low, and since the calmness level was very low, that is the reason why the hyperactiveness of the child was there. And after the entire program today, the child is basically into IIT. So the child is in IIT. So somewhere this as Anand sir is rightly saying, because these aspects not only need to be measured, they also need to be addressed. And there are a lot of mechanisms, there are a lot of methodologies in which these all aspects related to children's mindsets and all can be addressed across. Now the technology basically does a lot of stuff in all.
Chaliye, let's discuss this topic in detail in some other day, because this is a very detailed topic, and if we get into this topic, we will not come out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely,
let's focus
absolutely.
on the next question. Tripti ma'am, can I ask you this question? It is related to the school. It's a very common question. I mean, if any of the panelists would like to add their point, then it's an open question. So, I mean, particularly in your experience, what are some of the biggest obstacles that school faces when it comes to creating a positive and supportive school environment? The main challenges, I mean, if you go through the memory lane of your experience and you have faced that, okay, now these are the main challenges. And if you give us some practical insight, not some fictional thing.
Gulshan, I would just like to add on to this point that because the school consists of parents, teachers, students, and other stakeholders like nannies, housekeeping staff, account department. Everybody is there, right from the guard who is there at the school gate. So they all are consist of that. So it's not only the one person responsibility who is creating a positive environment in the school. So it can be created altogether with the help of all these people. So this is one thing, because where we are talking about creating the happy environment in the school. So I think the leader is very in acting a very important role here. Those who would be inspiring the teachers, those who would be inspiring the staff, students, parents to keep everybody happy all around by providing them the very calm and peaceful environment where everybody can be listened, everybody can be valued, and everyone has to is everybody has can be allowed to
share
speak, to
their share
express
their point of
themselves
views.
freely.
Yes.
So I think that is very important. So and but sometimes what we would be finding, maybe because of some students, as you have just shared, bullying not only by the students, by it can be done with anybody. So this could be one of the reason. And
Mainly कुछ
maybe
challenges हो
the
सकते हैं.
teacher's attitude towards the students, it cannot be positive all the time. So at times we are seeing that some teachers say something to the child which is negatively impacting the child, and again they are going through the lot of stress because of the behavior and the communication with the teacher. Maybe at times it is among peer to peer. And children are traveling into the school bus also, they are going their home there. So conductors and drivers are also there, so maybe while communicating with them, they get through such kind of incident, or maybe such kind of communication happen among them, so that they can have the negative impact on their mind. So all these things, so everybody, there should be a responsibility from everyone's side, whosoever is there in the school premises, and whosoever is dealing with all these students. So that is really going to make a difference if everybody will work on the
That's
same line.
thank
So
you,
anything
thank you,
can happen through
thank you,
anyone.
Tripti. Thank you, Tripti, for sharing wonderful suggestions. Supriya ma'am, you have raised your hand, and I also want you to add because you comes from a part. I mean, in UP. I mean, गोंडा मैं भी वहाँ ट्रैवल किया हूँ, वहाँ पर देखा है बहुत सारे challenges हैं. I mean, वो regional challenges हैं. So can you share some of the prominent challenges the school is facing when it comes to, like, you want to create a positive school environment, right? So school want to make a very healthy place. Still you face like these are the challenges which comes every time.
Gulshan, I would like to add that Gonda is a place where lots of politicians are there, and their children definitely creates a difficult environment for all the schools. So we have to take the parents in confidence, because it is for the
Because
benefit
every
of their
second
children
parent is a
only.
politician, I believe.
Yes, with every other, and every other day we have to call the
these are
student
some
and in
ये
front
हुआ
of
ना कुछ
the.
रीजनल चैलेंज, मतलब जो
Yes.
एक्चुअल चैलेंज है कि हाँ यार सभी एक पॉलिटिशियन है, सबको ही हैंडल करना है, तो बच्चे उससे ज़्यादा तो
Some
पेरेंट्स को हैंडल करने की प्रॉब्लम आती है.
कोई प्रधान है, कोई एमएलए है, कोई एमपी है, and some are coming with gunmen and all, and they have easy access to all those things. So in front of parents, we do make it clear to the child that whosoever your parent is, it doesn't make any difference. You will be treated equally to all the students who are there in the school, and whatever preventive or corrective measures are there, you also have to face the music. So parents also make it sure,
So
because
proper
it is for
communication
their
should be
children.
there with the parents specifically when it comes
Yes,
to.
yes, we have to call them. And as Sir Anand sir has said that any Saturday or second Saturday or fourth Saturday, so without seeing the days, we need to call them all the time, all the days of the week. And we what other thing we do, that we do open communication to everybody. Means in our school, we have made it like all the students can come to principal's office whenever they need to. And when they arrive in the school, I meet them on the gate. And when they go back again, before climbing on their buses, I meet them. And sometimes it is high five, or sometimes it is a punch, and sometimes it is simply a pat on the back. But I and most of the teachers, I encourage them also to create an open communication environment. Second thing, that we give them group projects. And whenever we are changing the projects, and we change the groups also, because if first group was of a certain students, like first to five roll numbers, the next time we just
Shuffle the roll
uh,
numbers so that they
shuffle the
have
roll
better
numbers.
communication with,
And
and they
yes,
have better
so that
communication with
they,
almost every
yes,
student in the classroom.
yes,
That's a very
so
wonderful
that they
suggestion.
can go with each and everybody, and they get to know about different
Exactly.
kinds of people, and they learn how to adjust with them. This is peer learning and peer sharing, and means
Wonderful
caring
suggestion.
also.
Thank you so
So
much.
yes.
SP Anand sir, you have raised your hand. I believe that you're waiting so long. Please,
Uh, See, one point is missing here, which I would like to add here,
please.
that to create the positive environment, we have students' leadership. So from the very beginning, we train the students who come forward to help, and they are used uh, in almost all the matters of the school which are related to the students. So it is student council which is trained, and student council is put forward when we have to establish some sort of communication with the students. So once the students are talking to the students, it is more effective, and the other students listen too. Otherwise, the instructions from the principal, instructions from the teachers are taken in other ways. And but when they are coming from the students, they are really serious. And sometimes the very major work, very major event, they are organized very successfully because student council is working. And one more point, as far as challenges are there, because we are residential school, there are so many challenges from the very beginning, and they keep on cropping. You cannot imagine what can happen at what time. So even yesterday night, around 1:30, we had a call from a block, and
Okay.
we rushed, and it was means just a very petty issue, and immediately we rushed. We talked to those boys that what is the issue, and it was some sort of celebration related to the Mahashivratri.
Acha.
We told them that of course you have planned that it is going to happen in our school. Then what is the issue? Then means some sort of argument between the between a group of boys. Somehow we could manage, and means in residential school you have to be ready for all sorts of challenges. But when challenges are from the inside, from the hostel, means I mean they are not serious, but sometimes it happens from outside also. The parents sitting 2,000 kilometers away, and if
You have to manage everything.
a phone call goes from the child to the parent there is not ready to understand what really has happened,
Exactly.
because he believes what the son has told him. And it takes a whole village to satisfy the parent that everything is all right. Your child is happy with us. We are taking care of. Please, you have reposed your trust in us and please maintain it. And this way, we are in a position to run a school.
Anand
So,
Kumar sir, I believe you have similar emotions. To
Actually, honestly speaking, I'm fortunate in such cases. Though I was born in Allahabad, so I can understand and correlate the political condition in Uttar Pradesh, especially in Gonda.
So I would like to
Please,
just
Please,
comment
please,
here.
please, Sapna
please
ma'am.
don't take it that way.
So because I relate to both UP and Assam, so there's, as I told you earlier, like there's a stark difference in the culture.
Very true, very true.
Stark difference. A
Uh, uh,
UP boy going to Assam will not behave the way he behaves in UP. And
Exactly.
an Assam
very true.
boy going to UP will not behave the
Uh,
way UPites are, because they're very
honest,
simple people. Assamese, in general, there is no their behavior is not very loud. So even if they have
uh,
to fight, they'll fight in a very low volume,
polite way, polite way.
polite way.
So
And
I've
how
been there.
fortunately, honestly speaking, I'm sharing my experience. This is my complete 1 year in this area. We have not as such kind of issue among the children. We manage 500 almost children, boys and girls almost 250, 250, and children are having not touchwood. I'm blessed that we are not having that kind of issue that the children are. Sometimes their seniors talk to the junior like that. You are not going to listen my order or command, but beyond that limit there is nothing.
yeah, it will
Another
not happen.
so the children here are actually very 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 submissive. They polite. We have never struggled. Even sometime I became surprised when parent used to come at the front gate. I generally used to welcome my children and during the time of arrival and dispersal every time, every day. So I find 90% of the parent, they come and they wish to the teacher. That's a culture which actually has conquered my emotions and my heart. So that is the different culture in Northeast. And the people and the parent are they are looking that they are the only one people who can change the nature and culture of my child. So they sometimes place their our teacher next to the one of the parent. Sometimes what we say, they listen that. Yes, that's very true that 100% people are not like that. But I can say and can vouch 90% people are just like that. I'm talking about parent. They regard the
I
teacher a
agree with
must.
you. I
Another
agree.
another important thing, why not we find such kind of daily
Same
basis.
behavior in almost like every part of the country.
Yes,
Where is your school, sir? SP Anand,
it's
sir?
in Guwahati. Acha,
No,
okay,
no,
sorry.
SP Anand, sir.
It's in Pilani, Birla Pilani, Birla School
Ma'am,
Pilani.
it's Birla School Pilani.
So let's move on to the next question. So I have this question with Sapna ma'am. So what role can extracurricular activities such as sports clubs and all these sports activities play in making a school a happier place for the students?
So, as we all are talking that if we have all education and no play, so we'll make Jack a dull boy. Similarly, the activities are not only the when we make different groups. It's for the child to understand that how what is team playing, what is how they can skill themselves the kind of what do they like, how can they become a good collaborator, communicator, team leader. If not, how can they put their points across, because at times what we call is introvert and extrovert. So even the introvert child does not sometimes have to be introvert, they can come out of that. It's a good trait, but sometimes it is a child needs to be an extrovert at some reasons, because how will he, as we were talking about bullying, so such things will only come out when they are in a group, when such clubs are formed, because they need to plan how to execute, what pitfalls they can have. So pitfalls can be we can have in any form of group. It can be when we make houses. So when we start telling them that this is the competition which you have to face through houses, and the spirit of um, letting it go, not winning
A
all
lot
the
of
time.
values that has been added through
Not
this
winning
all
all
these
the time.
activities.
You can accept defeat with grace. This will only come when you are in a group, when you have such sport clubs or any clubs. The reason that I feel till date, I'm 50 plus, I still know that I was so proud of my house, Nehru House in St. Mary's, Mau, and how, and since, and those memories, the childhood memories are the ones which linger on with you. The adulthood memories maybe I've lost, but I still remember fifth, what I did in greenhouse was the flag, the Nehru House, a greenhouse, how we used to win 8th standard, what we did, 11th standard, what we did, how we were secretary position, what all club activities we used to do, voting rights, how did I learn? So all these things, I'm sure that this has now with the digital world, it's and manifold things which are happening, which are only it's only sign of progression. The clubs can take,
But
and the NEP has come up with so many other like maybe it is entrepreneurship. So clubs for everything we can make, and I'm sure with so many principals and directors who are sitting here, they are doing that job in tenfold way. But what I see in clubs, I'm seeing that children do look forward to these club activities, which are Friday club activities
exactly,
or
exactly.
Saturday club
I mean, in
activities.
today's world, they are bombarded with a lot of, you can say, particularly, I mean, facing these entrance examinations, right? So, I mean, from the ninth standard, they have to prepare for any of the entrance exam. So, still, those who are in these residential schools, because I also visit a lot of schools, and I've seen in residential schools they have a particular time and they have to be part of one of the other sports activity. I'm not sure about the day boarding thing, but those who are in the residential schools, they have to play. What they are learning, that's a different matter altogether. But still, I mean, when they are playing for 1 or 2 hour, 1.5 hour, it will help them to release their stress.
Yes, yes, of course, very much because the physical activities, as we
Exactly.
the bullying will decrease. Everything, like if you
Everything
have
will
a
decrease
club,
because when they
everything.
channelize
So
their
I
energy
keep
in that
visiting
direction.
schools which are residential and non-residential, and I see that the real character of a child will only become when they are intermingling and depending on each other and learning from each other. So in a classroom environment, they can only interact with same level of age. But when they are in a club, they will interact from class 5 onwards to class 12 onwards, and they will see what improvement they can, how they can learn from each other.
Wonderful.
So that's quite collaboration they learn at a very early age through clubs only.
Thank you so much. And then let's move to the next speaker. Naren sir, you have raised your hand and you want to add your point. Can you please? Yeah.
Good evening to everyone. Really, a thought-provoking science is going on because the environment plays a very important, and especially when we are talking about the mental well-being of the students. So really, the boarding setup that creates environment, which the ma'am has raised right now, that a lot of activities not only in the classroom but after the classroom they are conducting in the games, in the sports, the co-curricular activities, in the club activities. So they learn number one, that is how to work in a team. Secondly,
Team.
when
Yes.
they are in a group, so they also try to balance their emotions with the other. Sometimes somebody want to present, but the other dominate them. So these are the small things which the students they learn from their peer group, and ultimately they create when they start moving to their washroom. So they learn they have to arrange all the things at the bed. They know a very small. I just share with all of you one important term here: small. The small word has a lot of things to be big, and these small things we have to lock. Student has to lock their almiras. Student has to ready before moving to the plan. So proactive approach. Student also learn from this boarding setup when they are in a set of environment. So that plays a crucial role. We will continue next, sir. Please,
Thank you. Thank
over
you.
to you.
Let me introduce Mr. Narendra. We have not introduced. So he is also working with Birla School Planning as a PGT Physics, and he also happens to be the NCERT counselor. We welcome you, Narendra sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Right now, I'm on the way. That's why,
It's
due to
absolutely
the
fine.
network, I'm not able to open the camera.
It's
Maybe.
absolutely fine, sir. It's absolutely
So
fine.
once I find it, we will definitely. Thank you so much, everyone. Please
Thank you.
continue.
Yeah, Tripti ma'am, you have raised your hand. Then I'll move to Mr. SP Anand.
Yes. Actually, I just wanted to tell you that these extracurricular activities, they always make children very happy. So recently, I was taking maths in the class. So, and somehow my syllabus was a little bit left. One exercise was left, which is supposed to come in their exam. So I was telling children that I'm going to take your one extra period to cover up this exercise, and then we'll be able to cover up the whole syllabus for the exam which is coming up. Then they were after my life, ma'am, why are you taking our math another period for this? Then I told them, okay, I'm taking your one of the another subject period, not the activity period, because I always keep this thing in mind that I should not take any child's activity period, maybe in sports, arts, or it's music, dance. It can be anything. Then I decided, okay, I'll do one thing with you. It is a 50 minutes period, and I will be taking your 25 minutes for studies, and 25 minutes I'll take you to the sports ground, where you can play whatever you like. Maybe some children, then they went for sports, basketball. Some children went for cricket, and they really liked it, and they thanked me after giving those 25 minutes to them. So this is one thing which is really bringing a smile on their face. Secondly, they, because every child is not studious, so they have to just some children are there having bent of mind towards artificial intelligence. Some children are having through towards visual art. Some students are going for sports. Some students like to do something good in music, maybe in an instrumental or in singing. So we have to look for that set of children also, because these days we are developing our children for 21st century, right? So they can, and these days it's not only one kind of like a set of professions are not there that children have to become only engineers and the doctors and the teachers. They can be the gamers, they can be the ethical hackers, they can be the content creators, they can be the great magicians, they can be the great sports person. So equal time has to be given to these extra curricular activities, which are really going to make school environment a very, very happy environment for children.
Thank you. Thank
Especially.
you. Yeah. Mr. S.P. Anand, you have raised your hand. Please conclude your point.
Yes, sir. You know, sir, that we cannot be a successful residential school if we avoid all these extracurricular activities, because on the academic activities, the students cannot stay with us longer. So it is the very much part of our daily routine that for 2 hours they are taken to the field. In addition to what is happening now, sir, that it is, you can say, the positive effect of corona, that now whenever there is a substitute class, so usually the teacher, the whosoever teacher goes to that class, he wants to continue the topic. But what they request, sir, can you take us to the field where we can play some sort of game? So we insist them that we have particular games hour, you cannot. But even then they insist in doing some sort of activities. And in our system, it is the, dance and drama. It is the much sought activity nowadays. They are so happy, and just you give the theme and they themselves write the script. They then play the role, and they are so curious. So if we compare the two, that whether in the classroom or outside the classroom, so we find the students happier outside the classroom than inside. And now it has become a challenge for the teachers who are teaching physics and maths, because they are holding their head this way, sir, what will be the result of? Okay, don't worry, our students are happy.
They
We
will
are
manage.
happy.
They will
We
manage.
will
If they
also
want
solve
to
the
manage, they will manage. But again, they will not compensate this time with the studies. Okay. Yeah,
So
Mr. Anand, you have raised your hand. You want to say something? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for giving me a time. What I want to say here, there are one aspect of teaching and learning when we are talking about 21st century skill. So why not we are going to teach even all the subjects outside of the classroom and measure it? Right. So purposefully, when this time I have engaged all my teachers and the team, including myself, how we can manage the teaching learning time not within the four wall, entire curriculum, either it's a physics of grade 11th or 12th or whatsoever, half of the class, or at least you measure that at least 20 to 25% of the syllabus you are teaching through an active teaching learning way. And believe me, the result is far better. Again, getting the marks in the board exam is something different thing. Do whatever you can do, but at least make them to learn. So that is the thing which we are going to do. Active teaching learning. Let the children go 30% of the curriculum, go out of the classroom, go and learn. So children can go to learn any of the subject beyond even the school campus. They will learn, they will start, taking interest in the subject, even in that particular subject.
The
And
curiosity
subjects
has
are
started
very,
developing.
yes, subjects are very important. We cannot manage like, okay, fine, substitution with the sports and all for the sake of their happiness. Making them happiness in that particular domain, that's one purpose. Second important thing, subject, uh, these are the basic essential skill as per the age group. But we are talking about happiness. We are talking about pleasant environment. So again, are we thinking for creating a pleasant environment in regular basis in the classroom? And if yes, then how? We are going to give them bit and pieces. That's one aspect. But for us, what we are going to do, I can share. We have started searching what the whole world is doing about it. We came to so many, happiness curriculum. Delhi is very popular for that nowadays. We went to UK for Castle. It's a very important program. Then in USA, even this is the thing which I would like to share with all. Please explore Emory University, USA, collaboration with Dalai Lama Foundation from Tibet. They have developed a curriculum for being a
The
happy
happiness.
person in the life. And then a wonderful program, it has been launched by Emory University, that is SEEE, that is called Socio-Emotional and Ethical Learning. We call simply SEAL program. And what we have done, we have started training all the teachers. First, let them be happy. Come into class with the happiness way. And what happiness matter? How happiness can be controlled, how mind can also be controlled with that emotions. That is one of the thing. So we talk about mindfulness, we talk about happiness, we talk about curiosity in the classroom, we talk about growth mindset in the classroom. Is a curriculum. First, teacher need to be trained, empowered, and then through a regular process, you talk to your teacher, children, talk to the parent. That apart from mathematics, which is very, very important as a skill, we need to also talk about kindness. Kindness is also very, very important aspect and a skill or a curriculum in the child's life. No one is talking about kindness. So this is a curriculum which is not supposed to be taught but need to be reflected. And then each child is supposed to maintain their profile or portfolio. If you are going to abroad for higher education, or even you are going for Delhi University for some credit point admission process, what are the things which you have done in your school? How you have served the mankind? That is, serving a mankind is a curriculum, and not to learn but to reflect, go in the society. You are going to give 365 days out of 365, 200 maximum 80 days the children are engaged in teaching and learning, maybe 270. Even we have 100 days time. Go one step ahead. Make sure that each child is reflecting. Why not going to serve the orphanage under the kindness program? Right? It's not a kind of club for us. It's a kind of human traits which each child need to learn and need to reflect. And if I feel if we can do like that in coming year, we will be make happy citizen of the country.
That's wonderful suggestions. I'm sure there's a lot to be done in the teachers training and implementing all the initiatives which are going on across the world. So teachers,
Yeah,
principals, and the
And
school leaders need to be more vocal.
that
Yes.
is why, Gulshan, like these days, life skills have been added as a part of curriculum in students' learning.
Exactly,
So
and
our
this is a
part,
continuous process. The more we get into it, there's a lot to learn in every aspect. I mean, understanding, take one example, the emotional aspect of the human behavior. So, again, it's a very detailed oriented thing. A lot of trainings are happening, and it's very hard to understand this aspect. I'm sure Sapna ma'am has done a lot of workshop in this area, and on daily basis, she is discussing a lot of things with the teachers, with the principals, and the
So I'm
more they
taking
get.
few clues from here and doing it tomorrow also.
I'm sure because it's a continuous process, and I'm sure the lot of schools are continuously working on enhancing these aspects. So again, it's a very important aspect. Again, let me go back to the unanswered question, Mr. Anand Kumar. Let me ask you another question. So, how can parents and the wider community be involved in the efforts to make the schools a happier and a more positive place for the students? So you were talking about the two places. One is the social community, and especially with the parents.
Okay. So especially when we are talking about the creating a culture of happiness, which
Exactly.
is our thrust point. So these are the things which is completely a tangible thing. When it's a completely abstract form of thing. It can only be felt. So I feel there, the area where I'm talking about, which is non-curricular activity or non-curricular program. So even the school should watch, or even all the leadership teams should share that this is the culture, even something good, something bad. Let's talk about that culture or curriculum, non-curricular activity, which is being reflected, though someone is not talking about it. and it should be measured one. So even your guard talk to parent, how they are going to talk. Maintain a report. Even the teachers, when they're talking to other teachers, senior teacher talking to junior, junior teacher talking to senior, these all kind of things should be analyzed first and documented, and then you think threshold with your team that okay, what kind of culture we want to create among our school. And among these all culture, you need to add the students, let them also be a part of that deciding factor, that what kind of school which you want for your children, for your teachers. Even parent, call them. And this parental engagement, one of the panelists has rightly said that curriculum designing process need to be also be supported by the children, what kind of curriculum they want to study.
So
And if
how
they
you're
want,
suggesting, Anand sir, this going to be in half yearly activity or in yearly activity?
no, it's a part of curriculum, it's a
It's a
regular
part of curriculum. It's a continuous
Curriculum.
thing.
It's a
And
daily
Yes.
who is
So
going
one,
to maintain the records of this thing? It is a teacher's responsibility when
it's
it
a
comes to
leadership team. It's a leadership team, and all leadership team.
the leadership team,
Leadership team
It's
means
policy
principal,
makers.
vice
the
principal.
policy.
It's a policy. So every one member who is a management part or the leadership part, you call it academic coordinator, you call it HR. So they are supposed to give a documented process that okay, fine, these are the things which we have. So
Do's
what
and
kind of,
don'ts of a school.
yeah. So this is my reflection of the school. What are the
Exactly.
things which I want to remove from the school? What are the things which I want to continue in the school campus? Even engage the parent too. And then every member should say that okay, fine, this is the thing which we have reflection. And across the grade, KG to 12. So we have a wonderful parent school partnership program in our school. We call them once in a month, twice in a month, but in a regular process we interact like we are interacting with each other. So 7 to 8 is the time when we talk about the parent. So what kind of thing you feel that your child should know. So then we are connected. Like some of the parents are going to say that I okay, fine, my child is doing good in academics, but I feel my child should be a well groomed child in terms of public speaking. We find out a public speaking, right? So even, and these all kind of things are being integrated in the clubs. So every year we review what we are going to do, and then accordingly we align or realign our clubs. Like personality development is a part of club, and these are not only the learning, they need to be also reflected, and their progress report of their learning need to be supported in our a performance report card, not only academic, but that's all about holistic progress report card. So each child, most of the child, wherever they have chosen for first 6 months that okay, fine, we want to do like that for next first 6 months, next 6 months maybe doing something different. So whatsoever they have learned, and sometimes parent also suggest that fine, my child is interested to go for a scientific club, but I feel he, since he's so much notorious, so let him be in a part of personality development club first, then later on, and we convince them. So this is one thing which I feel we need to do in the system, make it
That's
a
a
kind of
wonderful
policy in
suggestion.
the school system, then create a culture and of collaboration and communication. That's 21st century skill. You need to talk to your all the students council member on regular basis. It should be a kind of program that principal need to go and talk to students leadership team that what you are going to do, how you are going to do, what are the things you find in a system as a flaw, how you are going to change that. Again, I'm not going to give, my journey is to support you, you tell me what I'm supposed to do, so you need to do. So that's called collaboration, and we try. That's our strength, that is our another important thing which I always feel: transparency. At every moment of time, even your KG children, they are going to talk to you, then you talk to them and convince them that why I'm not going to give you sports or extra sports period, why this is the reason. And then entire mechanism is talking on the same track. Not only me as a principal, but even the teacher also talking the same thing. That's all about that one person, not one person centric. Institutions is talking about all the things. But again, it's all about culture. So
Exactly.
creating a culture is a mammoth task. We are trying to do.
Even I was saying the
Yeah.
same thing, and it has to come from the top brass.
From each one, even from the
Exactly.
bottom too.
So
Thank.
and
Yeah, Sapna
so
ma'am.
what's with the last school which I had set up, and what I suggest the schools is instead of having a parent-teacher meeting, we say PTM. Why don't we reword it and say PTPA, Parent Teacher Partnership Association? So from the very beginning, they have this whatever they are doing, whatever the child does, and even if he does wrong, they are partner to it. So they can't put the blame on the school that because of the school. So just make it as a system. Why always PTM? We are going for PTM. We are just going for PTPA or Parent Teacher Partnership Association or PT progression or whatever one wants. Just change the. Don't follow the norm which is going on. Just so automatically, as Anandji said, that the mindset of the parent will change, that this is not PTM, I am partnering for this program for the entire year.
Adding just one point, ma'am.
Please, ma'am. Please, sir.
Now, what we have done, we have empowered all the class teacher, and again, this is our expectation that whatsoever the number you have in your class, under the pastoral care through ERP, talk about that area which is not a part of curricular. Like even in sports, we are going to give them the sports report card, progress report card, health report card, club report card, everything. But I'm talking about you talk to the parent and ask them, and again share the message through ERP that today I observed that your child was talking to other batchmate in such a humble way, polite way, or something like that, and parents feel wow, even my school teacher is taking care of so many things. So this is under pastoral care. We talk about not curricular activity, non-curricular activity regarding the child person, even talking to the teacher, talking to submitting the notebook on time. So even appreciation for not submitting, talk in a different way, but even talk about notebook submission on time, talking to the teacher, talking to the didi, talking to the aya once in a month, and make it a structured form. It should not be like that, okay, fine, principal I said, then I done it. No, you do it every day, one. And then you cover all 30, 35 children in entire. Look, 12 times we are going to share the feedback on personality to the children. I'm sure things will turn up.
These small suggestions will create wonders in the long run.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
True.
Thank you so much. Now we come to the last section of this.
I'll have to leave because I have to join another 6 o'clock session. Thank
No
you, everyone.
issues. Thank you, Sapna ma'am, for your valuable time and efforts.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Vikas sir, can we have some views from your side?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for asking.
Vikas sir, now let me first put the question. So our topic is how to make a school a happier place. Now let's take a step back and I focus on why. I mean, being the mind trainer, I'm sure that you will add more value to this thing. कि भाई चाहिए ये पता है, but क्यों चाहिए? How तो हम कर लेंगे, पहले why पर focus करें. थोड़ा सा can you please share more insights on this topic?
सर, why का तो एक ही सिंगल लाइन आंसर है, इस पे तो ज्यादा लंबी बात करनी ही नहीं है. हमारे शास्त्रों में लिखा हुआ है शिक्षा का मंदिर कैसा होना चाहिए? That's it. तो मंदिर कैसा होता है? मंदिर की वाइब्स कैसी होती है? मंदिर का स्ट्रक्चर कैसा होता है?
मैं आज ही गया था सर.
It's a one-liner answer. When we are talking about मंदिर, and वहाँ पे कौन है? वहाँ पे भगवान है. भगवान मतलब देवता. वहाँ पे कौन है? वो लोग हैं जो मेरी समस्याओं, मेरी मतलब मेरा कौन? मैं एज ए पेरेंट, मैं एज ए बच्चा, मेरी समस्या को कौन? मेरे देवता कौन? टीचर्स और स्कूल, जो मेरे को सॉल्व करने वाले हैं. वो हर समस्या को, चाहे मेरी पर्सनल है, मेरी या मेरे बिहेवियर की है, किसी भी तरह की प्रॉब्लम है, सॉर्ट कौन करेगा? स्कूल करेगा. तो उसका तो हैप्पीएस्ट होना वो वहाँ के एनवायरनमेंट का कंपल्शन है. वो उसके बिना तो मतलब मैं कहाँ जाऊं वाली बात हो जाएगी. वहां नहीं तो कहाँ.
तो वो ट्रस्ट बिल्ड करना भी बहुत जरूरी है. वो ट्रस्ट फैक्टर होना चाहिए बच्चों का. मतलब स्कूल के लिए हाउ टू मेक स्कूल दैट हैप्पियर प्लेस, तो वो ट्रस्ट फैक्टर होगा.
तो सारी चीजें गॉड ग्रेस आज भी है. आज भी हम चाहे कितनी शिकायतें कर लें एज अ पेरेंट, लेकिन फाइनली आज भी एक पेरेंट, चाहे वो 8th क्लास का स्टूडेंट हो, चाहे 3rd का हो, चाहे किंडरगार्टन का, चाहे 12th का भी हो, तो भी वो टीचर की तरफ ही देख रहा है, भाई कुछ बता दो, क्योंकि उसको उसी से सबसे ज्यादा उम्मीद है और सबसे ज्यादा प्यार भी उसी से है. शिकायत भी उससे है तो प्यार भी उसी से है एक्चुअली में. तो ये फंडामेंटली तो यही है. अगेन स्कूल टू स्कूल नहीं जा रहे हैं, लेकिन एक्चुअल में ये है. और स्कूल भी कहीं ना कहीं इसमें पूरा अपना एफर्ट लगाता है. उसको भी अल्टीमेटली गोल पता है, चाहे कितना मर्जी बिजनेस माइंडसेट हो जाए, लेकिन अल्टीमेटली जो भी इस एजुकेशन फील्ड में है उसके बैक ऑफ द माइंड एजुकेशन ही है. बैक ऑफ द माइंड, ठीक है ना. फ्रंट पे जो मर्जी रहे, ये एक्चुअल में देखा है मैंने. हाँ, लेकिन मैं गुलशन से उस पर जरूर जवाब देना चाहूंगा.
प्लीज
दो मतलब आई एम लेट लिटिल, लेकिन प्लीज अलाउ मी. जो बुली वाली बात चल रही थी, क्योंकि वो टॉपिक मेरे बहुत नजदीक है. नजदीक इसलिए कि जब हम स्कूल में जाते हैं या किसी के साथ काम करते हैं, जैसे कल मैं फैमिली हेल्थवेयर डिपार्टमेंट गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से एक सेशन ले रहा था ड्रग इंस्पेक्टर्स का, तो वहां पर भी टॉपिक चला था। पॉइंट ये है कि बुली, व्हाट डज बुली मीन्स, बुली है तो क्या, अरे है तो क्यों है, जो मुझे समझ में आता है, जो मेरी समझ कहती है, या तो उसके पास लैक ऑफ विजन है, okay? या फिर लैक ऑफ, यहाँ पर हमें एक और देखा उसका बिहेवियर एस्पेक्ट देखना पड़ेगा। बिहेवियर एस्पेक्ट क्या है उसका, जिसको बोलते हैं हम साम दाम दंड भेद, जिसको हमने इंग्लिश में बोल दिया डिस प्रोफाइलिंग, पावर परसेंटेज। क्या था वो, प्रेस सीकर है, पावर सीकर है, किस तरह का वो व्यक्ति है और क्या उसकी नीड पूरी हो रही है बच्चे की। अगर वो पर्सनैलिटी प्रोफाइलिंग घर पे नहीं पता, पेरेंट्स को नहीं पता, टीचर को नहीं पता, तो सेम जेनरिक सबके ऊपर अगर हम बिहेवियर कर रहे हैं तो वो वहां से उसकी डिमांड आएगी कि मुझे कुछ करना है। तो वहां पर दो तरह की बुली आती है जो मुझे समझ में आता है, एक इंटेंट और एक होता है हीट ऑफ फॉर द मोमेंट। और अगर इसको ठीक करना है तो जो मोटी मोटी समझ ये कहती है कि अगर उनको विजन बड़ा दे दें, भी अगर मेरे पास विजन बड़ा है और फ्रॉम डे वन, इट्स नॉट अबाउट कि 9th 10th 11th 12th में देना है, फॉर अर्लियर क्लासेस, जिसके लिए आप लोग बहुत सारे एफर्ट्स कर रहे हैं, स्कूल्स वाले यहाँ पे हमारे साथ हैं, कभी आप एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर एक्टिविटी ले रहे हैं, कभी बहुत तरह की एक्टिविटीज करवा रहे हो आप लोग, वहां पर अगर मैं डे वन पे दे दिया, मेरा विजन बड़ा है ना, तो मैं छोटी चीजों में अटकूंगा नहीं। तो अगर विजन पे काम कर लेना, शायद मुझे लगता है बुली वाली प्रॉब्लम वहां पे खत्म हो जाएगी। दूसरा, पर्सनैलिटी प्रोफाइलिंग पे बात कर ले कि पर्सनैलिटी प्रोफाइलिंग अगर मुझे पता हो कि मेरे बच्चे का प्रोफाइलिंग ये है, उसका बिहेवियर ये है, उसको मिला ये है, उसके साथ डील ऐसे करना है। इंटरेस्टिंग ये है कि अगर मुझे बुली के कोसिक्वेंसेस पहले दिन बता दिए जाएं, जैसे जब दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट ने या सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने जब पनिशमेंट चार्जेस बढ़ाए थे ना, 5,000 पे चार्ज लगेगा आपको रेड लाइन जंप करने पे, हेलमेट ना पहनने पे, तो अगर आप उसका कभी रेशो देखें, वो बताया इसलिए था ताकि हम अवेयर हो जाएं और भी कर। ऐसे अगर बुली के या इसके क्या कोसिक्वेंसेस होते हैं, डे वन से इंटेंट सिर्फ बताने का है, डराने का नहीं है, उसका पता होना चाहिए इससे क्या क्या नुकसान हो सकते हैं, तो वहां से भी ये प्रॉब्लम खत्म हो सकती है। तो या तो पर्सनैलिटी प्रोफाइलिंग बताओ, प्लस उसके कोसिक्वेंसेस बताओ, और थर्ड सबसे मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट जिसमें स्कूल ऑलरेडी काम कर रहा है, विजन को बहुत स्ट्रांगली एस्टेब्लिश कर दिया जाए अर्ली एज में, प्रॉब्लम वहीं से खत्म हो जाएगी। थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, Vikasi. Thank you so much. Yeah, Tripti ma'am, you want to add your point?
Yes, I definitely would like to add on here, because I think the moral of the story is the open communication and the collaboration, because it increases the open discussion, open and honest discussion, I must say. And because of this, students and in fact even parents, teachers, everybody will be able to express their ideas in a better way if they will be communicating openly and freely with each other, without being judgmental about each other and understanding each other's point of view. So I think that is definitely going to make everything
I'm
happy
sure everyone
in the
has
long
noted down this, the collaboration and the communication part. Chaliye, let's move on to the last part of this webinar, and this is going to be a rapid fire round, which we do on every time. So in this rapid fire round, first we focus on the actual challenges which you are facing. Then I'm sure that you guys are facing while in the school to make a happier place. So first we'll focus on the actual challenge, and next we'll focus on the solution which you can provide. So one solution is to make a school a happier place. Fair enough. So this is going to be rapid fire, so do not go into the detail. We do not have more time. Let's start it with Supriya ma'am. Supriya ma'am, एक challenge जो आपके स्कूल में है, जो रोड ब्लॉक बन रहा है आपके स्कूल को हैप्पियर प्लेस बनाने से, you need to unmute yourself. Everyone please unmute yourself.
Yeah, the student feel that they are powerful.
अच्छा
According
वही
to, like,
challenge है,
yes.
that regional challenges that everybody would like to
Regional
bahubali.
challenges there,
Okay.
yes.
Next, SP Anand sir, one challenge that you are facing.
Sir, the challenge we are facing nowadays, that parents are more insisting on coachings.
Okay.
That is the biggest challenge, and we are trying to discourage them that let the student be student, don't make them machine.
So you are saying that the parents are sending their child to the quota and other regions, and they're taking the students out.
No, sir.
Okay.
Because we are running a residential school, they want that the quota team should also come to our school.
Okay. So you're saying
That
that
is
okay,
other-
this is hampering the happiness of the school, the entire the structure. Okay, thank you. Anand sir, Anand Kumar sir,
I think we need to
one
have a
challenge
vision
that your
alignment.
school is facing.
Yes, I think vision alignment I think that is the only one which is hampering the progress of my school. If everyone is having a same kind of vision and everyone is selling in the same direction, including parents, children, everyone, yes, I think it's not a challenge. It's a kind of process which we are going to do. And yeah, I feel this is the mammoth task for us, which need to be done. That's all.
Tripti ma'am.
Uh, Frankly speaking, as of now, we are not facing any challenge in our school
Are
because nowadays we have come up with a solution of open communication and the quick action for that. So I think that is really giving us a lot of relief in that.
Wonderful.
So no challenge is coming to my mind as of now.
Paresh, sir, one challenge the schools are facing to become a happier place, according to you.
See, from whatever I could understand with multiple schools that I've been visiting across and talking to, one challenge that I can say across is the question why. For example, if there is a certain academic performance or if there is a certain behavioral pattern, the question is why. For each child, that why question needs to be answered, and maybe that why could be in mental wellness, the why could be in basically cognitive skills or various aspects. That is something which needs to be analyzed for every child. So that's something which is still the visibility or probably that area is still unfocused in schools at this point of time.
Okay.
Here I would like to add something, Gulshan,
Please,
that
please.
students are teenagers and later adolescence means they get that physical strength also. So sometimes they try to apply it on others to see that how powerful they are and what can they do with other students. So this is
I would like to conduct a workshop for your school, please, and we'll focus on this problem only.
yeah, no issues. Now we are handling it. We are handling it efficiently. No issues.
Thank you. Yeah, Vikas ji, one problem with the schools.
I think lack of coordination between school and parents and teachers. Why so? Like मैं बहुत relate कर पा रहा हूँ SP सर के साथ जो इन्होंने पॉइंट रेज किया कि पेरेंट्स का देखिए स्कूल क्या करता है, जो पेरेंट्स प्रेशर करता है तो उसको थोड़ी अपने आप को मॉडिफाई करना पड़ता है, या तो कोऑर्डिनेशन बहुत प्रॉपर हो जाए ट्रस्ट बिल्डिंग. जो मुझे लगता है लैक ऑफ विजन इन टर्म्स ऑफ पेरेंट्स है कि पेरेंट्स को ना एक्चुअली ये क्लैरिटी नहीं कि स्कूल भेज क्यों रहे हैं वो, अदरवाइज वो मांगते ही नहीं है कोचिंग का वाला, वो अपने एक मोड में चलते हैं, जो मर्जी बोल सकते हैं आप उसको. तो वहां पर लैक ऑफ कोऑर्डिनेशन है इन माय व्यूज.
आप ये भी कह रहे हैं कि ओवर द पीरियड ऑफ टाइम वो जो ट्रस्ट है जो स्कूल पर हुआ करता था वो कहीं ना कहीं डिमिनिश हुआ है.
मैं वो नहीं कहूंगा, वो इसलिए नहीं कहूंगा क्योंकि आज भी उसके पास और कोई अल्टरनेट नहीं है, यही है स्कूल पे भेजना, स्कूल ही है. लेकिन वो उसको क्लैरिटी स्कूल का लॉजिक क्या है, स्कूल का लॉजिक ये था कि स्कूल में जब मेरा बच्चा जब 4 साल का, मैं स्कूल क्यों भेज रहा हूँ, मैं चाह रहा हूँ वो ना लिखना सीख जाए, पढ़ना सीख जाए, पब्लिक स्पीकिंग सीख जाए, स्टेज पे बात करना सीख जाए, म्यूजिक से ओवरऑल ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट हो जाए, होल ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट चाहिए. बट जैसे ही मैं बात करता हूँ स्पेसिफिक एजुकेशन की, लाइक आई एम सेंडिंग माय चाइल्ड टू इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज और मे बी फॉर MBBS, आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग आफ्टर 5 or 4 years माय चाइल्ड इज कमिंग बैक with a brain that is having a knowledge of as a doctor or as an engineer or as any specific terms. लेकिन स्कूल का काम तो होल ब्रेन डेवलपमेंट है. अगर ये पेरेंट को ये समझ में ढंग से आ जाए ना तो वो कभी नहीं मांगेगा ये चीज कि भैया मुझे ये चीज चाहिए. और जो परेश सर भी बोल रहे थे कि वो जो कुछ भी नया इम्प्लीमेंट होता है तो पेरेंट्स को कुछ बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं, व्हाई क्लियर नहीं हो पाता, तो वो प्रॉब्लम भी वही है. जब उसको ये पता होगा कि ये वाली एक्टिविटी से या ये XYZ स्कूल क्यों करवा रहा है, स्कूल कोई मतलब इतने जो 4000 बच्चों को देख रहा है, 400 लाइव्स को देख रहा है, हर साल देख रहा है, वो उनसे ज्यादा बुद्धिमान तो है ही जो 2 बच्चों को देख रहे हैं.
चलिए लेट्स
इतना तो उसको समझ.
वी विल डिस्कस दिस टॉपिक ऑफलाइन. नरेंद्र सर, you have raised your hand, please. Yeah.
Yes sir, SP Anand sir or Vikas sir, the way they have connected na, really actually what happens, students they are performing very well in their co-curricular activities, but at the end of the academic year or at the end of the day, academic performance plays a vital role. वो कितना भी हमारा it's a proud moment that our band has performed at the national level platform. But still one the tap point in the minds of the parents, that is what is the academic performance of my child. So ultimately majority, even 90% people, they have decided in somehow the career decision of their children. And students are surrounding through a lot of challenges they are facing. They want to enter into the arts or the this commerce stream, but they're forcing to go into the sciences and other. So this is a somehow which the Vikas sir especially mentioned, the coordination. The triangle plays a very important role. Really, it's a challenge.
It's a major challenge, we know. Anand sir, you have raised your hand. Want to add your point?
दस वन थिंग विकास सर का एक पॉइंट था और नरेंद्र सर ने भी कुछ मोर और लेस यही बात कही
जी।
मैं इसको कहता हूँ विजन अलाइनमेंट हमें एज ए प्रिंसिपल और एजुकेशनिस्ट भी बदलने की जरूरत है। अगर हम ये स्ट्रगल करेंगे कि उनके पेरेंट की एक्सपेक्टेशन अलग है, हम कुछ और ऑफर करना चाहते हैं, हमें लगता है कि हम कुछ ज्यादा अच्छा दे रहे हैं। लुक, आज ये कहना कि पेरेंट अवेयर नहीं है थोड़ा मतलब डाइसी सा लगता है। आज का पेरेंट, हमारे जनरेशन के पेरेंट्स तो बहुत अवेयर है। खैर, मैं दूसरी बात पे आता हूँ। हम पहले ये डिसाइड तो कर लें, हम पेरेंट के साथ बैठ के बात करते हैं, एक एक पेरेंट को हम इंगेज करते हैं, चलो बात करते हैं, आपका एक्सपेक्टेशन क्या है और क्या आपका बच्चा उस लाइन पर ठीक जा रहा है कि नहीं जा रहा है, और फिर हम अगले साल डिसाइड करेंगे कि आपने जो डिसाइड किया था वो अभी ठीक ठाक चल रहा है या आगे कुछ और सोचना है। तो उसी डायरेक्शन हम लोग बात करते हैं ना इंक्लूसिविटी की जी, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं हमें भी सोचना होगा एज ए प्रिंसिपल और एज ए हेड ऑफ द एजुकेशनिस्ट कि क्या हम अपने सिस्टम में वो चेंजेस लाने की बात कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं। मेरा एक छोटा सा क्वेश्चन है, मैं ठीक है कोई बच्चा आईआईटी करना चाहता है, उसका नीट करना चाहता है, समथिंग लाइक दैट, उसका एस्पिरेशन हो सकता है ना, गलत तो नहीं है, वो करना चाहता है, करने दीजिए। हम उसके नीड को कैटर कर पा रहे हैं, नहीं कर पा रहे हैं तो हम सीधे सीधे मना करें, भैया हमारे यहाँ नहीं होगा, तुम दूसरा वाला डॉक्टर देख लो। रेफरल होता है ना भाई, मेरे यहाँ मेडिसिन केवल फिजिशियन किए हैं, आप ट्रीटमेंट कहीं और कराओ। हमें अपने अंदर ईमानदारी लाने की जरूरत है। भाई माई स्कूल इज नॉट डूइंग ग्रेट इन परफॉर्मिंग आर्ट मे बी, so if the child want to go to Bharat Khande or any of the Sangeet Vidyalaya or any of the musical college, let him go and do the justice. हम लोग स्टक कर जाते हैं, अरे मेरा बच्चा कैसे जाएगा। नो, let him be honest and let him honest to ourselves first. हाँ, ये हमें देखना है कि क्या उस नीड को हम कैटर कर पा रहे हैं कि नहीं कर पा रहे हैं। अगर हम कर पा रहे हैं then only we can add the child to be there in the system. This is the demand of the child, this is the need of the parent. Let them decide, but let them decide with the informed decision. भाई ये करेंगे तो इसका ये रिपरकेशन है, ये करेंगे तो इसका ये रिपरकेशन है। हो सकता है कि उस बच्चे को इंजीनियर बनने में वो पैसा ज्यादा मिलता हो, एक बच्चा बीबीए करना चाहता है, उसको बहुत पैसे कमाने हैं, एक बच्चा पेंटर बनना चाहता है, लेकिन क्या वो बनना चाहता है? ये सबसे बड़ा बिलियन
सोसाइटी एंड दे आर गेटिंग थिंग्स नो।
सो फर्स्ट लेट्स टॉक और कहाँ हेल्प हो सकता है, पेरेंट को बुलाइए, बात करिए, साइकोमेट्रिक एनालिसिस करिए, बात करिए, बेटा आपका इंक्लिनेशन यहाँ की तरफ दिख रहा है लेकिन आपका एप्टीट्यूड नहीं दिख रहा है ना, कैसे करोगे? सेम थिंग करना चाहते हो तो ठीक है, हाथ जला के देखो एक साल।
Recently, we have done this psychometric assessment in one of the reputed school in Bijnor region. This is a sugar industry out there. R.R. Murarka was the school name. And we have done this psychometric assessment where we have assessed the multiple intelligence, aptitude and personality. So at the same time, if the student was saying that, okay, I have an interest in this area, that's absolutely fine. But right now, you don't have the aptitude. And we have done the assessment with the 10th standard. So they
actually, बच्चों से 4 क्वेश्चन पूछे, भैया एरोनॉटिकल इंजीनियर बनना है, क्यों बनना है? हाँ. Right, एक बार informed decision ले लेते हैं. Exactly. Let the parent also sit, and then I think and that's all about alignment of everything in the school. I think that is one of the challenge, but solution is there in that challenge too.
Chale, let's move on to the last, can say, the last section of the webinar, wherein we'll take the suggestion, and it's going to be very rapid fire. We'll not go into the detailed thing. So one suggestion from your side, which the school can implement to make this school a happier place. Okay, so I'm giving you 10 seconds to think about it. You can give any example or any suggestion which you might think that might be useful.
Repeat your question, please.
My question is one suggestion which the school can implement to make a school a happier place. Okay. Now we'll start with the Paresh. Paresh, one suggestion from your side.
I think as I'll put my suggestion, based on what I had said across a little earlier, is basically the report card should not be only about academics or sports or something. The report card should be also about like Anand sir said, in terms of the psychometric test or cognitive skill test and various aspects. That basically that also needs to be included into every school's, every child's report card. That's very critical.
Bang on. Wonderful. Vikas sir, one suggestion from your side.
आई थिंक स्कूल को सर हेल्प करना चाहिए स्टूडेंट को और पेरेंट्स को टू आइडेंटिफाई हु द एग्जैक्टली दे आर, वो
Okay.
एक्चुअली में है कौन, उनकी रियल स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, रियल वीकनेस क्या है, वो उनको हेल्प करना चाहिए उसको आइडेंटिफाई करने में।
मतलब रादर उन पे थोपने की बजाय वो क्या है वो जानना जरूरी है.
मतलब उनको हमें कोच के रूप में आना पड़ेगा, कोच को पता होता है कि उसकी स्ट्रेंथ वीकनेस क्या है, बच्चे को नहीं पता होगा, समटाइम्स नहीं पता होगा। हिट एंड ट्रायल करने के बजाय वी शुड टेक सम गुड फैक्टर्स, गुड थर्ड पार्टी टूल्स को मैं इंट्रोड्यूस
Wonderful.
करके।
Wonderful. Narendra sir, can we have one suggestion from your side?
Yes, sir. In school, we must try to set up a school mental health program because where the Anand sir focused a lot of curriculum. So I add one thing, that is hidden curriculum plays a very, very important role here. So one program we should implement in the school, sir.
When should I
Thank
come,
you.
sir?
So
That
being
is
the
my point.
NCERT counselor, he is focusing on this part also.
Definitely, hidden curriculum plays a very, very important role, sir, which is not a taught or a framework curriculum. So Anand sir focus, but later on we will take this. It's a very different and very interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Narendra sir. Supriya ma'am, one suggestion from your side.
Open communication with all the stakeholders and making sports a major part of the curriculum.
मुझे लगा आप ये बोलने वाले हो कि आप वहाँ पर पॉलिटिकल रैलीज कम कराएं.
वो नहीं हो सकता वो नहीं हो सकता that is
Just
in the
kidding.
blood. How can I remove that?
Just
गुलशन
kidding.
सर,
Yeah.
मैं भूल जाऊंगा, 1 मिनट चाहिए मेरे को से,
Please.
क्योंकि now this is my extended family, Inspired Valley is, so I just want to share one thing. We took one initiative last week. We made one NGO by the name of Ashadi Foundation. You आपको पता है इस बारे में. तो अभी हमने एक स्कूल के साथ बहुत हमने एक काम शुरू किया है. अब उनके जो सीनियर स्टूडेंट्स हैं लाइक 9 से 12, उनके साथ हमने गवर्नमेंट स्कूल को यही हमारा जो मेंटल हेल्थ का प्रोग्राम दिया उस फाउंडेशन एनजीओ के नीचे. तो एक तो उनको ये हुआ कि उनको लीडरशिप डेवलप हो गई, एक हमें भी थोड़ा सा एक अलग तरह का जो सेटिस्फेक्शन लेवल होता है ना, एक ही काम से 2 काम हो रहे थे. एक तो उन बच्चों को हेल्प मिल रही है जिस तक हम पहुंच नहीं पा रहे थे, और एक उनको हेल्प मिल रही है जिनको एक्चुअली में चाहिए थी. दोनों को मिल रहा है.
चलिए, we'll
Just want to
discuss.
share
Let's
with all
let's
of you.
finish this webinar, then we can discuss. We'll have this 5 minutes. SP Anand sir, one suggestion from your side.
Sir, unrestricted use of words of appreciation, greetings, and wishes.
More gratitude, more communication. Wonderful, sir. Thank you so much, Anand sir, for your valuable suggestion. Yeah, Anand Kumar sir.
I
Sure,
think
we've done. Yeah.
Transparency should be there at every moment of time among the children to school and children to parent, parent to school. So all stakeholders should have a very transparent thought process, and that is the thing which we need to do. Doesn't matter how much good program we are going to do or not going to do, but transparency is, I think, a core thrust which need to be focused among all the people, and school will certainly grow on that.
Wonderful. Tripti ma'am.
I think I'm the last one here, so but not the least. So I would like to sum up again. So I think it would be partnering with parents, open communication, quick action, appreciation, and a positive environment. I think all these are going to
Wonderful.
make a difference.
So let me formally end this webinar, then we can have a chit chat for next 5 minutes if you want. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your valuable suggestions. It was a wonderful evening. We have discussed a lot, and I'm sure those participants, those who have joined us in between, and those participants that who will listen this webinar, that they will going to add a lot of value. These points will add a lot of value to their life, and definitely they will apply the suggestions and the pain point that we have discussed during the webinar. So again, on the entire team of Inspired Valley, I thank you everyone who has given their valuable time to us. Thank you everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.